Welcome to episode 153. How are you, Joshua?
Terrified. How are you?
I'm good. So, for anyone listening who can't see what's going on, you should go watch the YouTube video because we're in costume today for Halloween.
Yep. Yeah. So we're recording on Halloween, and it's pretty awesome. I can't wear my glasses with this particular ensemble, so I can't really see that well. But it is what it is.
Well, and for our listeners that aren't going to go over to YouTube, Josh is in a full Browns outfit as if he's about to play football with a football field in the background.
Yep. And you are uh Hannibal Lecter, Freddy Krueger.
Michael Michael
I know who
Myers.
you are.
You're messing with me. Okay, okay. Well, you're so you miss a lot of pop culture references sometimes
Yeah.
because you're not maybe up to date.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
That's one way to
sorry.
say it.
I thought you were really, yeah. Retro. You're retro
Yeah. I guess that's one
without even being old. So,
one way to say it.
yeah.
Cool. All right.
So this weekend was pretty fun, I gotta
Was
say.
you made your return to the powerlifting venue?
Yes, right. My first return, not as a lifter, but as a coach,
Yeah.
to a meet since COVID. And it was a lot of fun. Day of the Deads was a nicely run meet. It went really fast. Um, yeah, and our lifters had some really great lifts.
Yeah. Yeah. So before that though, we had the bench meet, Georgia State bench meet. Stacy, April, and Isabel lifted. Stacy went 2 for 3. Her second attempt was stupid easy, and she was kind of sick the last couple weeks going into the meet. So we weren't expecting to we were hoping originally to, hit a big PR bench, but of course, getting sick right the last couple weeks of training is always awesome. But her second attempt was super easy. So she could either go up 2.5 to tie her PR, or go up 5 and try to hit a new PR. And she went up 5, and it was just a little bit too much on the day. But I think if she was healthy, that would have been, for sure. April went 2 for 3. She hit a PR bench big time also. And then Isabel went 3 for 3 and hit a big PR bench also. So that was pretty good. You want to talk about day of the dead?
15 kilos.
Yeah, it's
She
15
had a
kilo.
15 kilo
Yeah, not bad.
PR. What?
Not bad.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
For bench PR,
Yeah.
you know, what? Yeah. Yeah, so I forget that they were two separate meets because it's like it was at the same venue and just one was the morning, one was the evening. But apparently when we got there, they had redecorated a bit to be more, Day of the Dead themed. And it went really fast. So Isabel and I, Bogadao, can't pronounce her
Boogadoo.
name.
Bogadoo.
Bo- yeah, I'm sorry, Isabel. Um, went 3 for 3. She did really well. She stayed nice and calm, and she was coming back from an injury on her shoulder and her back for this. So to be bench pressing and deadlifting with a PR, what?
Yeah, and
Crazy.
she's competing again in 2 weeks at the Southeast Collegiate meet. So this was kind of just like a little
Oh,
tune up for her to go into that.
nice, nice. She did great. It was fun because I was like, I don't know what Isabel looks like, and I'm supposed to coach her, but I have to find her. But Wesley knew what she looked like, and we
Yeah,
found each other, so it was good.
that's good.
And Wesley Toller was there. He went 2 for 3. His last pull was heroic. It was heroic, just because I've never seen anyone get so close and hold on to the bar and just pause in space and time for about 30 minutes. Is what it felt like.
Yeah,
It didn't go down. It was just there, but man, it's there. He'll get it next time. It was epic. And Dan Sturm, his return to the platform. And he hadn't lifted. We had to renew his APL, US APL card, USA powerlifting card. And the last time he had lifted was 2012.
wow.
Wow. So
I believe the
he
last time he lifted was also the last time that Hope Roar lifted the state
I
meet.
yes, that was
Yeah,
yeah, well, it was an American Open, I believe. Was the
Oh, so
last
he
one.
didn't meet
Or was that
after that.
after?
Okay. The American
Yeah,
Open
but
was
Hope did the
December.
American Open.
No, Hope just did this Georgia State meet. She was one and done.
Oh, I could have
Uh,
sworn she
She
did it.
was one and done on her return to the platform. She did a few meets back in
Mm,
early 2000s.
yeah,
Yeah, well,
but he did good. We had a plan and knew where we wanted to end up, and we did. He did.
nice.
So, and the last one, I he was like, "Yeah, that was about right," and I'm like, I think he might have been able to squeak out another 2.5 kilos,
Yeah, I saw his last one.
but
He had more left.
mm, yeah, it was his first meet back. Wanted to keep him healthy, and yeah, he hit it. Got some good feels, and now I'm gonna get him ready for the next one. I don't know if he's gonna be ready, but
He'll
that's
be
my
ready.
plan.
I like it.
Yes, always.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, everybody did really well. And it was really cool because I wasn't able to go, but you were there. Stacy was there to help out after she got done benching, and Olivia was there all day coaching as well. April ended up reffing during the second session after she lifted in the morning bench press, so that was really cool to see. Everybody kind of helping everybody else out, and I think from everything I've heard, everybody's pretty happy with how things went. Everybody felt taken care of, and I'm really really appreciative of everybody that was able to step up and be there for everybody. So pretty cool. So I
Very
think we
cool.
mentioned this a couple weeks ago that I want to start doing is going through the rule book. Basically, because the new rule book just came out, and all through there's blue highlights, and the blue highlights represent either additions or clarifications to existing language. So I figured we'll just kind of go through like a new line each week and just kind of touch on it and what that means and things like that. So the first one, and the other cool part about the new USAPL rulebook is everything's indexed. So you just changed costumes mid podcast. Okay,
My horns aren't showing up.
you've outdone me. It's frustrating. I wasn't anticipating a change mid recording, but
I had a background lined up too, and I couldn't get it to go on.
oh,
But yeah, so and my horns aren't showing up in this background. I have a Viking hat.
yeah, they're coming through occasionally when you turn just right. But anyway, as I was
Sorry.
saying, so going through the rule book, so the first new line is 1.1.2. And it says the rules, policies, and procedures outlined in this rulebook are prescriptive in nature, describing what is allowed. As such, unless specifically listed as allowed, exceptions, variances, alternatives are not allowed. In other words, that which is not specifically identified in this rulebook as allowable, permissible, or legal is assumed to be prohibited and not legal. And I think that is not really anything. It is a new addition to the rulebook, but I think it's in text because we've had issues where people have come to the meet expecting to do something like just completely ridiculous, and their argument was it doesn't say in the rule book that I can't do this. So
Right.
I can't even think of an example off the top of my head, but something like, well, it doesn't say that I can't do 100 jump ropes on the platform and then lay down and bench. Something stupid that's completely unrelated. Like, that's common sense. Nobody thinks that's okay, but now there's this rule just so that people that want to try to get cute, there's a rule that says it just kind of covers all bases. You can't do it if it doesn't say you can do it.
Right. I've always thought about like for your last deadlift, instead of just doing one, like two, three, or four.
Yeah. Right. Same
But
same
I
concept.
guess
Like,
that wouldn't be allowed.
yeah, I mean, right. So anyway. Yeah, I mean, this one to me is just it's a common sense thing, but there's some dummies out there that try to be funny and for sake of
Right.
professionalism, sake of uh being able to expedite everything and not waste a whole bunch of time, this is put in there just to check off the box that, hey, okay, you want to know where in the rule book it says you can't do that? Right here. Yeah.
There you go.
Yep, there you go.
Boom. So, new lifter tip. We've got one. And actually, I have probably more than one
Well, if you have
for
one,
this
go
one.
go for it. You can say what you have.
Okay. Well, something I saw this weekend on the deadlift only meet. And, this could be due for different reasons. So I'm not going to call out anybody in specifics, but I saw this in a lot of lifters where their opener was really close to their third attempt by like 5 kilos. And I think a deadlift, it's actually probably a little bit more important to have a opener that's like your last warm up, and then have your second one be a place that positions you for your third attempt and gets you kind of at that middle weight. And your third one should be that big attempt. Like there was quite a few lifters. I was, going through the scoreboard and focusing on a couple that they just seemed like there really wasn't much jump between. Now it could be that, you were not feeling great and you opened up at something that was heavy and looked like a PR to everybody else or really close to a PR to everyone else. And then, that felt really heavy, so you only bumped a little bit. And then that one felt heavy, so you only bumped a little bit. That could have been the case. But I was just kind of like, I wonder if these people are being coached and if their attempts are setting them up for the most success they can have. Because if your last deadlift that you're going for is only 5 kilos more than your opening attempt, you might have worn yourself out.
Yeah. Looking at the overall work that you did too, like just as an example, let's just use somebody that, is going to do a third attempt of 100 kilos just to keep the math simple. If you go 90, 95, 100, that adds up to a total work of 285. But if you go 95 plus 97.5 plus 100, that's 292 kilos of total work. So you've done more work to get to the same place. And I think people in general, you changed again. What? This is really, this is really too much, man. Um,
I'm a farmer.
you're a farmer with you have a oh man, I can't deal with this. Um,
Sorry.
yeah. Anyway, what was I saying? Something about something trying to sound
Jumping
smart.
from 90 to 95 to 100.
Yeah, that the percentage wise, that's a little bit more of a gap. So I mean, that's a lesser example, I guess, than if it was a higher weight taking smaller jumps. But you know, the amount of overall work to still end up with a 100 kilo deadlift is still, you want to you want to space out your attempts so that are not wasting all your energy. I think a lot of people when they're not that experienced in attempt selection, they think, well, my max is 100, so I want to open like right at 100 or just below it. That way I can do 100 on my second to hit my max, and then it gives me a chance to go over my max. Well, you basically just did 3 all out attempts. Um, that's assuming you make all 3 to get 2.5 kilos over what you currently have as a max. So I just think that's, it's short sighted. And if you sit and think about it, it's not the best option to be at your
Yeah.
best for your third attempt.
Yeah. And I saw one that was like heavy and then 2.5 kilos heavier and then 2.5 kilos heavier.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I wonder what it could have been.
Right. So you basically went all out on 3 attempts. Like by the third one, you
Right.
already wore
You
yourself
were
out.
worn out.
What could you have done? Yeah, I agree.
Right. Yeah. And she missed the third in this
Yeah.
particular case. So, you know,
Right.
maybe she could have made it if things were, yeah, graduated differently. But,
Yep.
again, like I said, I don't know what the circumstances were. She might have good reason for doing it. It might have been totally planned. So it was still an incredible meet and got to see some really stout lifters. And it always astounds me sometimes when you look at somebody and you're like, oh my gosh, that person's really strong. And sometimes they just don't look it, right? And
Yeah.
that's like, you know, powerlifting 101, I know,
Right.
but it still surprises me.
Yeah.
You're like, this is just a regular Joe off the street. Oh crap.
Yeah.
Look
Those
what
are
they
my
just
favorite.
lifted. That's
The
amazing.
unassuming ones, those are
Yeah.
my favorite because, you know, they
Yeah.
clearly put in the
Great.
work to get there, and it's great when they just like show up and everybody's like, oh crap.
Yeah. Right. When it's kind of unexpected, or somebody, goes in without people expecting much because it's maybe their first meet, or, they've been around for a while, but it's just not, they haven't made a whole lot of progress. And then to leapfrog other lifters or
Yeah.
do something out of the ordinary, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Agreed.
So, yeah. Very nice. All right, Josh, I don't have any more outfit changes.
All right. Well, I guess that's the end of the podcast.
There you go. I worked on it, but I only got 3.
Got it. Well, I'm impressed. I honestly was thinking you might forget. So I'm like, I'm going to show her I assumed that you thought I would forget. I'm like, I'm going to show up in costume because I said I would last week and I actually remembered, and you're going to forget. And sure enough, you show up with 3 freaking different costumes. And
it's easy with virtual, right? Because you just need the right background and a couple of props. And
yeah.
you're good.
True. So. Cool. All right. Well, that's all I have. Happy Halloween. I know this is coming out Wednesday, but we're recording on Halloween. So happy Halloween. Emma and I are going trick-or-treating later today. So
nice. What is she?
She is a Browns cheerleader. She has a little Browns dress, like skirt.
Nice. And you're going to wear that.
I am going to wear this. Yep.
Yeah.
So
and Hope will be
working
as a football.
No, Hope's got to work, so she's not able to go.
I guess
she's got to go in it. She's working an overnight shift at the hospital tonight. So it's just us.
Well, have a blast.
All right.
Don't eat too much candy.
I will try not to.
Yeah. I mean, is Emma eating much candy nowadays?
Nope. I'm taking care of it.
Lollipop? That's very heroic of you.
Yep.
Doing one for the kids.
Yep. Exactly.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, have a great week, Josh Rohr. Next week, I'm taking a break.
Okay. So you're not here next week?
I'm not here next week.
Okay. Very likely there will not be an episode next week then.
All right. Well, we'll miss you guys, and we'll catch you the week after.
All right. Sounds good. Later.
All right. Bye now.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode of the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, please remember to subscribe and share it with your friends.